In 1991, Rodney King, a 25-year-old African-American man, was severely beaten by several white police officers following a high-speed chase through Los Angeles. Repeatedly kicked and beaten by batons for 15 minutes, King suffered fractures in his skull, broken bones and teeth, and permanent brain damage. Caught on videotape, the incident was widely viewed around the world.
This was the beginning of when we were beginning to see taped or videotaped incidences of police brutality. And so this was a new phenomenon. So it was quite upsetting, but it also was something that gave us the sense that there would be justice this time because this was witnessed by the entire world.
But instead, a mostly white jury acquitted the officers in 1992, and the streets of Los Angeles descended into chaos.
It's like two slaps in the face, where you have things really on camera, visible, and yet we still can't get any justice. And so people rioted, people looted, people expressed their grief and their anger and their displeasure at injustice.
Following widespread incidents of arson and looting, a curfew was imposed. Another tragedy that happened right after the Rodney King beating was the killing of Latasha Harlan right at this location. The 15-year-old African-American girl was shot by a Korean-American store owner who was later found to have mistaken her for a shoplifter, an incident that heightened tensions between the two ethnic groups and led to much of the 1992 riots to be centered around Koreatown. Korean Americans felt singled out as a group after a disproportionate number of them and their stores were attacked.
The Korean Americans were victims with the police abandonment. We were pretty much quarantined, and in that way, out of the $1 billion in property damage, over 40% were incurred by Koreans, and in many ways we were targeted.
2 days into the riots, Rodney King appeared on national television again, this time with a simple request that became a memorable line.
I just want to say, you know, can we all get along? Can we get along?
Within days, the curfew was lifted, and 3 months later, the 4 LAPD officers were indicted on federal charges of violating King's civil rights. It took years to rebuild parts of Los Angeles, but even longer to rebuild bridges between communities. Rodney King died in 2012 from an accidental drowning. Authorities say drugs in his body were contributing factors. He was 47. Ediz Tiyansan, CGTN, Los Angeles.